Hi, my name is Dr. Reyna, and I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation that I have prepared for you. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I see. So what I want to share with you today is the Teacher Toolbox. The Teacher Toolbox is a toolbox for long-distance learning presented by Dr. Reyna. I have only one requirement, and that requirement is that you play full out. You agree? So let's move on. Because of coronaviruses, we had many school closures. Not something that we anticipated, not something that we planned for. Teachers are struggling to fully engage students virtually. Do you agree? We offer an online toolbox of ideas that will ignite the skills teachers already have to better engage students online, so that students are more attentive and can enjoy the distance learning experience. We are stuck here in doing long distance, so our only goal is that students will actually enjoy long distance learning. This is an image that has been circulating among social media. It's the image of a kindergartner who is expected to know how to read, how to write, how to log into Zoom, and send all her homework through email. That's the face of our students, and that's not a face that we want to see. We want to see happy, engaged faces, right? The administrators, on the other hand, are wondering what's missing. Teachers have the curriculum, districts have enabled distance learning, students and teachers are safe, school districts have received emergency funding, they have provided computers and hotspots for them, but parents still continue to complain. Students still continue not to be engaged, and teachers are stressed out. So how can we help? I'm going to ask you to take a minute. And remember, I asked you if you could please play full out. I'm going to ask you to please close your eyes. It's only going to be for a few seconds, unless you're driving. Close your eyes and imagine you're going out camping. You're taking out your teachers, you're taking out your classified staff. And it's getting dark, and you ask your teachers, go gather some wood, and your classified staff, go gather some rocks. We're going to build a fire pit, and we're going to make some fire, and we're going to be warm, and we're going to be okay. You know, we're over here camping, and it's night, and we can't go back to our houses, so we're going to build a fire. Everybody goes, the teachers bring the best wood they can find, and all of your classified staff builds the pit, and it's all done and ready. But there's no fire, and they all look at you as the superintendent, as the person in charge. And they're expecting you to light that fire. So what do you do, right? And that's where we come in. We ignite. That's the name of this course, Ignite. So we give you the match to light up that fire. And when you light up that fire, all your teachers are warm, all your teachers are listening to the fire, they're engaging, and they're all happy. So we help you ignite, engaging children today for better minds tomorrow. Okay, so what's our program, you ask? Our program is to keep your virtual students engaged, say goodbye to boring classes, and communicate. Communication is one of the key elements that have evolved over this coronavirus season. We are used to communication, and we have communication tactics and techniques that we use in the classroom. Now we have to make communication times 2. Before we have our student, we can tap on our student's shoulder. We can call her name. Not anymore. We have to reach through the computer, and we have to touch him through that. So for that, communication has expanded. So now we have to go communicate with them on a large basis. Okay, so how are we planning to communicate? Dr. DeVore has mentioned in a book that is called Leading by Excellence, in a study that I performed, and 100% of the principals agree that communication is one of the most important principles to achieve high student achievement. And so how is that done? Harvard Roland and DeVore mentioned that the levels of support cannot and should occur at the federal and state local levels. It does begin with well-communicated vision and belief from the top down. So it begins with the leader. The leader is the one that told the teachers, go find the wood. The leader is the one that has to bring the match to ignite that fire. So how are we planning to do that? We're planning to do that by having powerful classes, capturing the interest of our students, and inspire them to action. By enhancing your message and improve understanding with the proper use of visual aids. Make every virtual classroom interactive, compelling, and more productive. We all know what student engagement is. We all know that in education, student engagement refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, interest, optimism, and passion that students show when they are learning and being taught. And that's what we want. And we know what it is, but we do not know how to get it right now. Right? So there's 5 levels of engagements, as we know. We have authentic, ritual, passive, rhetoricism, and rebellion. Authentic is by far our favorite and what we all want to have. But at this time, we're sitting between rhetoricism and rebellion. So this is the 3 categories to determine the engagement of your classroom. You either have an engaged classroom, and this is how an engaged classroom looks in Zoom. Everybody is showing out something. You see here showing something blue, showing their book, showing their phones. They're showing something. Right? Compliant classroom is like everybody is participating, they're raising their hands. And then we have the abstract classroom. There's a teacher right there. And the abstract classroom is, here you see your student. They're all thinking, they're not engaged, they're confused, they don't even know what's going on, right? And so how do we change that? How do we move students towards authentic engagement? And how do we increase student engagement? Here's a typical student. Not your typical student that has 4 siblings in the house. We are representing here the optimal situation. And in the optimal situation, your student is still not engaged. Here's your teacher with the optimal student that has the optimal learning setting and is still not engaged, right? So this is how a Zoom classroom would look when everybody is engaged. And this is how you would be. So I tell you raise your hand, you would raise your hand, right? So that's what we want with all of our students. So we all know what all the keys to have a successful student and what the student has to do to be a successful student in class. But all of that is not working. Your teachers are asking, how does a teacher prepare his or her classroom for learning? And that's what we count. We have 3 simple strategies that we will share with your teachers so that they can ignite everything that they have learned and all the professional development that you have offered to them by providing breathing exercises for their students, movement, and the aid of visual aids. Why breathing? We're only going to focus on the 4th finding. Breathing boosts oxygen levels in the brain. The higher the oxygen level in the brain, the better you can focus and stay alert. So the breathing exercise that we will do, it's something like this. So once the music starts, we'll ask our kids to breathe out 4 and breathe in 4. So that their lungs fill up with oxygen and it goes up to their brain. So we will start out. In. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4, in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, in, out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that will get all their oxygen going, they'll shake their body, and they'll be ready to focus and ready to learn. Okay? So we will be doing the priming with the finger moving, so they're doing not only getting enough oxygen into their brain, they're actually using their body to engage in classroom. Why movement? And why do we want to do the finger movement when they are breathing? Because movement supports a child holistic development. Movement is vital for children's development. A lack of movement may prevent healthy development. And I only highlighted 3 areas from early childhood, i.e. encourages kinesthetic memory when they're moving. Movement fosters interactions and cooperation. And movement supports literacy. So that's sufficient for us to bring the movement with the breathing. So we wake up the brain, we wake up the body, now we're ready to participate. Okay, so children need movement to develop balance. So here are some movement ideas. We can use hand signals so that the teacher can see what's happening on the other side, right? So if I ask you, give me a 5, everybody gives me a 5. Say, okay, give me an answer, 1 or 2, and so you're able to see. So they're using their hands, and they are practicing using their hands so that the teacher can see that. Okay, the teacher can have this background behind her as a Zoom background so that they can see the different hands that they can use to answer the different questions. Not only the using their hands, but then also we will have interactive music. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, listening to music is the #1 non-school activity. Since our students like music, let us use that knowledge and incorporate it into our lessons. That's the advice of Dr. Ernie Mendez in his book, Engage for Learning. So most of our students already listen to music on their own. Why not bring it into the classroom? They already do that, so let's use it, right? So here is an idea that this toolbox presents, and it's the use of alarms. You set up an alarm every so on so that it will disrupt your classroom. But when the alarm comes with a sound, and then you ask your students for a minute to do jumping jacks, to do wiggle their body, to run in place, to do stretches, to do hand touches, tap, finger snapping, or simply crazy wiggle. So that disruption in the classroom actually is movement. They breathe because they get tired, they get oxygen in the brain, they go back and they settle down. And here is some examples of what the movement would look like. And when we do in the course, we have actual movements that we do with your teachers so that they can participate. And so this is the results that you will see. You see the results of all of your students' movement. And even though you see that they have someone here in their house that is sitting down while your student is participating, your student is engaged. It doesn't care that there's a person here. It doesn't care that their hair is a mess. It doesn't care what kind of clothes they have. It doesn't care that they have some mess in their house. They want to show their moves. So they want to turn that camera on. We all know that movement is required. Teachers already require students to move when they respond to questions. Teachers already ask that the students show their answers in their whiteboards. Teachers already ask that they show their finished work. That's something that teachers already do. Teachers are really good at providing good feedback to students because they know that they need it. And so when they do good feedback, that improves student learning. We talked about communication, and communication has been multiplied by 2. Now, not only you have to ask a question, you have to write the question, and you have to ask the question again so that your student can hear and see what the question is. So they have to use double senses. Now they have to see and they have to hear. So it's double. So we know that. And for that, we can send emojis. One of the ideas was, okay, we create emojis that we share with them, right? But sometimes it's difficult for a district to send emojis to every single student. So then we can use that universal signals. Yes, no, true, false, right? Simple as that. Another idea too is use the colors. Go find something red. This is red. This is no. This is false. Go find something green. This is yes. This is true, right? Everybody has something red. Everybody has something blue, so that they can go get it. They have watermelon. They have paints. They have a spray bottle. They will find something in their house that is red. They will find something that is green, so the teacher can see the color right there. So she doesn't have to have all the noises of everybody answering yes or no and going with a humongous headache at the end of the day. They will just be seeing the colors. They will be seeing the answers. They will be interacting, and everybody will be excited to show what are they using to show their answers, right? So, and that's something that it's easily done. Another idea that we will present in our course is the use of background colors for groups so that the teacher can see which group each student belongs to and they get to know each other. A very important social component of going to school. When you go to school, you talk to your neighbor, you talk to the other person, you talk to them during lunch. Right now, when they go into breakup sessions, they will have the opportunity to talk to all their group members and they'll get to know their group members. So when they go back to the classroom, they would have those relationships. They will not miss that social interaction. This is pretty much how a classroom will look like in a teacher's screen. Some you can see here the teal, some of these people put it on. This person put it on, other didn't do it, but that's pretty much how it would look if you wanted to incorporate it. This will work more with upper grades more than lower grades, but that's something that the teacher can definitely utilize. Okay, we're talking more and visual aids, and this is just the beginning. There are many more strategies that can be developed beyond what is presented in this presentation and what we are presenting to the teachers. As I mentioned, we are simply igniting what your teachers already have in them, what your teachers have learned all these years. You have provided enormous amounts of professional development, and they have all this knowledge in them. Our purpose is simply to come and ignite their imagination. How? By collaborating, by joining a Facebook group, not only in California, but nationwide, where they will be able to share all of their resources, all of the information. There will be like-minded people in one group who share free resources such as workshops and much more. They will share and receive informal support. They already receive their support. They already receive all this information through their district. But this is informal support where they will be able to share resources that what's happening in one state and what some teacher is doing. They'll be able to share their successes and failures. So if a teacher shares a failure, something that she tried out, but it didn't work out, then the teacher here may say, you know what, that's what I was planning to do. I'm very happy that I belong to this group because now I know that this didn't work for them. So I can try something else. I can try something different. Not only that, but they will be able to belong to a blog nationwide where they will be able to share their ideas. And I believe that ideas are born when you speak up. And that's the platform that we are offering. Let's join the conversation. Let's join the ignition and let's share everything that we have learned all this time and make distance learning a great experience for our kids. As I mentioned, the course, it's free. Originally, we were going to charge $225 per ADA, but we decided to make it free because we feel passionate that we need to present this to the teachers so that the teachers can be ignited, so that they can wake up all this knowledge that they have in them. And for that reason, we had made this workshop free and available to every single teacher in California for free. So we are sharing the link in another slide. So why free? Because we want to ignite our teachers to engage children today for better minds tomorrow. So this is our contact information. It's a little bit of information about me. Here is my contact information, my email, my phone number. I am available to go to your school district if you need me to go in person to have the presentation in person. The online course, as I mentioned, it's free. It's updated on a regular basis. What you receive today might be updated in a couple of weeks when we get more ideas and we get more resources from our teachers and from everything that is working in different classrooms in the country. But for now, you will get the link in a separate email or in a separate form that you can share with all of your teachers. Your teachers can then enroll in the course and participate and sign up not only in the Facebook group, in the blog, in the course, and of course, I'm free to attend and I'm at your service. I have other resources, I have other books, so you're welcome to check them out. Feel free to reach out, and I thank you for your time, and I hope that your teachers are being able to ignite. Again, it's a pleasure to serve you.